Hey Virgo, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. This is going to be your general reading for the first half of November. Please keep that in mind, okay? General readings are going to resonate for some of you, maybe not everybody, so just take the messages that do resonate. I do offer personal readings. If you're interested, you can contact me below in the description box to set that up. Thank you so much everybody for your likes, shares, comments, donations, contributions, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate the support. All right, let's take a look. First half of November. What's the message for Virgo? What's the message for Virgo? First to the 15th. I do my readings twice a month if you're, or sometimes I add in some general reads for the total, all the collective signs, but typically 1st and 15th of the month in case you're new to the channel. Let's see, 7 of Pentacles, okay, 2 of Wands. What's this 5 of Wands? You're facing a bit of a, maybe a roadblock somewhere. The Devil, yeah. I am getting this message here, Virgo, that maybe somebody is, I don't want to know if it's riding off your coattails, but they could be like taking credit for something that you've put the energy and effort and time into. They're sort of maybe riding off your coattails, but there's something here that's of a, I'm also getting like addicted to conflict, addicted to chaos. Somebody here who's very, or an energy here, whether that's a workplace or a person. No matter what you do here, how much you try to put time or effort and energy into, I feel like you're always up against maybe being blamed or something of this nature. What's the outcome here for the Devil with the 5 of Wands? What's going on with that? The King of Wands. Could be dealing with a Capricorn or a fire sign. The Death card. Wow. Okay. So there's like a sudden ending here. I think you're finally at this crossroads here, Virgo, where you can, I would say, like, you can stop putting any more energy or effort into something. It has come to its end. The fork in the road is here. I feel like it's time for this new path, new decision, new way of doing something. There's someone that I do feel like someone here is very addicted to chaos, or it could have addiction issues, which is making them, act in a very unhealthy, toxic manner. And I feel like the thing is that no matter how much effort you put into this individual or situation, the thing is that they have to kind of lose everything. I feel like the Death card is saying, like, it's like, we need to clean slate. You need to lose everything and restart again, because this person, they have to get more ambitious or more focused on the changes that are needed, that are to kind of get away from or heal or move on from this toxic path or this toxic attitude or whatever that energy is. That I feel like this person's like, they say, like, sometimes you have to lose it all in order to realize. You have to lose everything in order to start from scratch, to realize just how much time or effort maybe you were putting in. It's like you've tried to put some energy or have patience with this, Virgo, but I feel like you're saying, you know what, the choice is yours now. You figure it out, or you lose everything, or you figure out your what needs to happen in order for that person to change. It seems very confrontational, argumentative, opinionated, not willing to change. And it's like, okay, well, maybe if you, maybe it's about losing a person, in terms of, like, sometimes people change when we leave. It requires an ending for someone to wake up, for somebody to see, like, to recognize how much effort or energy. Tell me about this 7 of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with Scorpio there with the Death card. Tell me about the 7 of Pentacles. What is this for Virgo? The 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you've put in a lot of generosity here, and I don't think you're getting You might be waiting, or you've run out of patience here. I'll put it that way, because you're not getting in return what you're putting into something. It doesn't seem, or your time and energy is better used elsewhere, Virgo. And I think you're realizing like this just isn't worth the fight or worth the battle, or it's unhealthy. It's becoming, it could be creating a lot of aggravation. So let me see what the death card is suggesting here. There's a new beginning, death and rebirth here. There's something about change. Tell me about that. The resistant to change, 7 of Wands. Someone here is extremely resistant to change, or extremely resistant to, they don't want to put an end to something. And it's like, you are doing this, or you are pulling the plug, or you are saying, hey, you made up this decision for me to pull the plug on this, or to end something. It's just as important to protect your own growth here, Virgo. It's just as important to make sure that somebody doesn't start to degrade or ruin or affect the time, the energy, the effort that you're trying to make in your life. And it's like you may have been finding or realizing like I'm losing now. Like now I'm losing productivity. I'm losing my time. I'm losing work. This person could have pulled you into this energy of losing yourself even. So I feel like you've realized that you can't let this individual back in necessarily. You have to protect and get back to where you've got to put your time and energy, so that you don't give that away and then you end up paying the consequences or suffering through that. Tell me about this 2 of Wands. It's weird because I get this feeling that not even the worst case scenario makes this person change. It's very addict energy, where it's like no matter how much is affected, or the loss, or the damage, it's like it doesn't stop. The 9 of Cups. Yeah, you've got to choose where you feel most fulfilled. And it's almost like you're saying, hey, you choose and you decide what makes you happy. If I'm not trying to be hard here, but if it's like, if you're not happy, then change your ways. If you're happy doing that, or you must love doing that because you keep doing something that you keep doing, so you must love it, kind of thing. So there's a thing here about you are on a different path here, Virgo, when it comes to wanting to kind of pour back into yourself, your time, your energy, and fulfilling what it is that you need. I feel like you're sort of saying, you want to be happy. You want to get out of this, or steer clear from a situation. I think the fact that you've ended it, I think you ended this, or quit, it could be a job. You're like, I'm finally going to maybe learn a good lesson here, and it was time for a change. For whatever reason, you may have done something or stayed at something to sort of prove yourself that you were capable of showing up in a way, that you didn't want to look like a quitter, that you didn't want to look like you didn't care, or something of that nature. But I think you're sort of saying, it's time for me to finally do what I want. I think this is an opportunity for you, Virgo, to pursue a new direction or a path with a person or a career, or whatever this situation relates to you as, or relates to you in, to fulfilling what it is that you really want, what you're feeling that you need. I think you have a lot, and I think you know this, that you sort of know in yourself that you have a lot to offer, that you have a lot to give. And sometimes we stay in things, relationships or jobs or whatever, to sort of make a point or prove that, just to show that, yes, we weren't willing to give up, trying to get recognition, maybe trying to get validated for the work and the effort that you have been doing. But I feel like you're starting to say, like, I just need to fulfill what makes me happy here. I need to do what's right for me. And pulling plugs, maybe this is something you weren't expecting or wanting, but you have to, or you had to. Something here is definitely gotten a little bit more. I just think it's getting worse. The longer you stay, the worse it's going to get. So I think that when you made this ending, and you may have allowed this to happen more than once, but now this time you're saying, no, the door is closed. Like I can't let that energy back into my life, or I can't do that again. So you're going through something there's the Fool. Yeah, you're going on a new path here, Virgo. And I think you're recognizing something that you're like, I've busted my ass, or I've worked so hard, or I've done so much. I'm going to do what I really want to do now. Now is an opportunity for you to take a different leap of faith, take a chance, do something new. And it's leading you in a place that you want to feel content. You want to feel happy. You don't want to be doing something or staying at a job and just over and over and over doing something that you're not happy with, or it's in a toxic environment or a relationship, whatever this is. It's like putting out fires, that are not yours. Putting out fires that you didn't start. There could be something here, guys. This is maybe a bit more of a specific message, but there could be something. This is the second siren. I was going to say there could be something around addictions counseling. There's the second siren that just drove by my house since you're reading. I don't know if you guys hear that. There could be something around like addictions counseling, or the alarm, and you're like, it's not helping you anymore, or there's like, this is not good for me. Whether that's a role that you work in, there you are, Three of Pentacles. So you are starting something new here, Virgo. You're working on a different plan. Some of you have kind of lost a little bit, or you do have to kind of, the Death card, Three of Pentacles, like some of you may have to kind of start up from scratch a little bit, or rebuild an area of yourself or your life that you're like, okay, I got to get back on my course here, okay? Is there any healing advice here for Virgo? Is there any healing advice? It's really interesting. Like your biggest majors here are the Death and the Scorpio, and Capricorn being the Devil and the Death card. And I feel like eventually this has to hit a rock bottom, or something is done that, we dig our own ditch kind of thing. We dig our own graves. This kind of energy of like, if a situation continues down a toxic, unhealthy path, or manipulative path, or narcissistic, it's like eventually that's going to hit a rock bottom truth. And I feel like that's what's had to happen. And you're definitely not, I think you're just focusing on your own health, your own wellness, your own goals, where you need to be, because you're realizing, or you're just matter of fact of you choose your path. If you like something, keep doing it. If you don't like something, stop doing it. So there's something here that's like, you must love what you're doing, because you're not ending that, or you must not have had enough here until, there could be something that you're saying to somebody. Ace of Cups. This could be a relationship here for you guys. Some of you are moving in a new direction about maybe building a healthy relationship. It doesn't have to be love, but there's something here about new beginnings for you, Virgo, new love, something that maybe you love, something that fills your cup, something that's not draining you, something where you get a sense of mutual reciprocation here. Six of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. There's like, you both have a mutual fulfillment and love and respect and regard for the effort that somebody is putting in here. The appreciation that somebody is like, this is how I show you my love, because I do all of these things and I put effort into it, and I show up, and I'm willing to do the work, and I'm willing to work through the difficult things, versus chaos, conflict, addiction, manipulation, not willing to feel or understand somebody else's emotions. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. I asked about healing advice, so it may say, hey, don't give up on love or relationship or just emotional fulfillment. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. The Eight of Wands. Okay, it may happen much faster than you realize. I think there's a thing here as well. Eight of Wands can discuss, communication and talking about your feelings, talking about what it is you want. Again, there could have been something here that you weren't able to discuss with somebody else because of the addiction to chaos. Everything turned into a chaotic, victim mentality or conflictual mentality or getting into a heated discussion all the time. So it was like, you got blocked or it just pulled plugs and it was like nothing ever got resolved. Nothing got resolved. That the faster you move on, the faster you'll move in a direction of aligning with potentially what you love or who you love. Is there anything else? Just curious. Ace of Cups, Eight of Wands. And then we'll close it up. Just checking the time there. I was going to say, it's interesting, the Chariot. So some of you, because the Eight of Wands can be travel, I was going to say, there could be something around, there's definitely moving on here, but there could be something about needing to get away, whether that's permanently or needing to get away on a vacation, needing to go away and needing to sort of explore new avenues, explore where you may find what you love in life or who you may love. Explore that. Maybe there's something that's saying you have to experience or explore, is what I get. New pathways, Two of Wands. You may not realize where life leads you in who or what you love or where you feel fulfillment in life. So I feel like maybe you've got to just broaden your routine or broaden your where you frequent. Consider moving in other areas or traveling or exploring the options is what I think. I think you're exploring options here. I think there's definitely more emotional communication, being able to express your feelings around love, around relationships, around what you love to do, being able to come from a place of expressing your feelings. Cancer energy, very emotional, very, very sensitive, very, very almost like that homebody of feeling safe and being able to express their feelings without having hypersensitivity or being, it's like maybe there is a bit of a sensitive person. Maybe this is you. Maybe this is a person that you're like, it shouldn't be so argumentative, or it's like having sensitivity and compassion for other people's feelings or other people's being able to discuss. Do you know what I mean? Do you know when you're able to express freely, and even if you have differences, you can understand them, or you can say, hey, I get what you're saying. This is my point. It's a healthy, mature conversation without getting into this chaotic, blame game, all that bullshit. So there's definitely something here, I think, Virgo, where some of you may be finding love or considering there could be a bit of distance going on. The Emperor, bottom of the deck. Something much more serious. Somebody who is willing to build a role with you, a job, a husband, a wife, whatever this, the seriousness, the commitment, knowing what you want, knowing what they want. But you have to let go and move on. It's easier. Six of Swords. It's easier when you have a situation or a person or a role or whatever that is coming from an Emperor, somebody who's very solid, somebody who's very mature, somebody who you can learn from, grow from, constructive. Okay, you've got Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn. Let's take a look here. What's the wisdom of the Tao message for Virgo? Message for wisdom of the Tao. Appreciate yourself. Absolutely. You are. Long-lasting fulfillment comes from the ability to create your own internal peace and happiness. Feeling sad, lonely, or even insecure is all part of a soul's growth. Appreciate who you are and the unique qualities that you offer to the world. And I would say that's something that you're probably doing here, Virgo, with the Emperor there, is that I said that earlier, you have a lot to offer. You've got good things to give. And I think this other individual or this other situation does not appreciate who they are. So it's difficult for them to appreciate you. It's a part of the soul's growth, as it's saying here, feeling sad, lonely. Somebody has to hit rock bottom in order for them to grow. It is very classic addiction energy here of like, we can't enable and try to, coddle them. And you have to, sadly, as I always say, like lovingly detach and let them find their own path. Let them hit their rock bottom to appreciate who they truly are, because they've lost themselves or they've lost touch with having a peaceful, loving connection. It starts with self. And I do feel like someone here is addicted to chaos, addicted to arguing, and it could be a side effect of physical substance abuse, addiction, something of this nature. Because that death card is saying, like, do you have to die in order? Not, I hope that, you know what I mean? It can get intense with that. And what's it going to take for someone to change? Okay? That's really interesting, because this card kind of finalizes, it just rounds off the energy of you realizing that you appreciate you, Virgo. And I think you may have not been getting the same from somebody else here, or even, it could be a job, okay? It could be something that's like, this place is crazy, it's chaotic, it's not appreciating all the work that you do. 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. This is reciprocation. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. I want to wish you guys a great day. Thanks again for all your like, share, support. I appreciate it. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.